August, Pennsylvania cooking. So it's fall and harvest season, and it wouldn't be the fall and harvest season without appley things. And it just so happens I'm going to make something appley today. Apple cider donuts. That's a favorite treat this time of year. It always tastes so good. And while we haven't had a chance to use our own apples for a while, I have to trim the trees and get them back in shape up on the farm. I'm so fortunate to have nearby Green's Fruit Farm. They have the most wonderful apples, pears, and peaches, and their cider is fantastic. So I'm going to be using their cider to make my apple cider donuts today. You can buy concentrate, apple cider concentrate to do this. I have never done that and bought commercially. I always make my own, and that's the first thing we're going to do today. We're going to boil down some of this cider to make our concentrate for our donuts. Let's get to it. So for our donuts, we have our cider, obviously, 2 eggs room temperature, butter at room temperature, buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, do the hack of a tablespoon of lemon juice to a cup of milk and let sit 5 minutes and use whatever you need of the measure. Sugar, flour, baking powder, baking soda, salt, vanilla, nutmeg, and cinnamon. I'm going to boil down about a cup and a half of cider. It's going to take probably about 25 minutes. The end product, we want to have around a third or so of concentrated cider. While our cider is boiling down into concentrate, we're going to work on putting together the rest of this. So we're going to cream our butter and our sugar. And we're going to add our first egg. Beat that for about a minute. Now our second egg. Beat for another good minute. Next I'm going to whisk together the flour, baking soda, baking powder, salt, cinnamon, and nutmeg. Make sure you get this all mixed in well so it's even. And set aside. Now we're going to add our buttermilk. Vanilla. And I'm going to drizzle slowly in the cider concentrate. Now we're going to start adding our flour mixture. There's our dough, ready to go. I've lined 2 cookie sheets with parchment paper that are generously floured. And I'm going to take and turn this out into the one sheet. It's sticky, there's no doubt about it. And, oops, I'm going to spread this out about 1/4 of an inch when we get done spreading this out. And we're going to chill it down in the freezer for 10 minutes, and then we can take our cutters, our donut cutters, and cut these out. And as we cut these out, we'll transfer them to another tray that's set up just the same way. This is going to allow us to get them chilled, because you need to get the dough chilled before we cut it out so it keeps shape and then hits the fryer. And if you need to, in between, it is perfectly fine to slap it back in the freezer for 10 minutes at a time to get that. Try and get this even. Okay, there we go. It's going to go in the freezer for about 10 minutes. Firm up so we can cut it out. So now we're going to work on cutting out our donuts. Our donuts are chilled. I chilled them for another 10 to 15 minutes in the freezer after cutting them out. Now I've dropped them in, and these don't take long to do. The very most a minute each side, and I only put like 4 in at a time because you don't want to crowd the pan or drop your oil temperature too quickly. Ideal oil temperature ought to be around 350 to 370. And we'll take the first ones out and drop the next ones in. While the oil was heating up and they were chilling, I made my cinnamon sugar for them, which is like 1.5 cups of sugar and 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. While those are frying, take these and get them all powdered and yummy. All sugared up. You can do powdered sugar as well, but I like cinnamon sugar. And I just keep doing them in batches. Just keep doing them in batches like that. And they're done. Oh, look at that cider donut goodness. Made 26 altogether. And you know what comes next? And And for the best part, you're done. Got a glass of milk because I gotta have that. Oh my goodness, guys. Look at that, how fluffy. Oh man. Still warm. This was what autumn was made, totally made for. Always loved in the autumn having the apple cider donuts, mulled cider, all the good flavors of fall, you know. Yummy. The nice thing about these donuts too is because it has the cider in it and the acid, that makes the dough more tender. So these are lighter and fluffier than like the potato donuts are. They're not as heavy. So, apple cider donuts. Get yours. Greens are open on Saturdays from 9 to 3. Only for a few more weeks up to Thanksgiving. So get your apples and your goodies. They have apple butter and pear butter too. They were out of donuts, so I made the donuts. But get the greens, get your goodies, apple cider donuts. Happy autumn.